All right, welcome once again to Meet the Property Guy channel, and today we'll be talking about something that I just want people to be able to um, chew on and try to imagine, based on current trends, the consequences of this current trend. Now, every year in and year out, house prices are going up, land prices are going up, it's getting more and more expensive, and then the um, percentage of people that can afford these properties, these houses, the percentage is dropping year in, year out. So, is lease the next trend in Lagos real estate? If we look at everything that is happening right now in price of land, price of houses, will it get to a point in Lagos particularly where people will not even be interested in owning these properties for life, but the trending thing will be for them to own these properties for a tenure? All right, in case you are coming across a video like this for the first time, don't worry, don't argue yet, don't disagree yet. It's still early in the videos, so don't worry. So this meet the property channel, and this is where we discuss everything real estate for investors like you, about to be investors like you, real estate enthusiasts like you, real estate researchers like you, real estate practitioners like you, regardless of your role in the entire real estate value chain. This is your go-to channel, because the topics, the breakdown, the analysis that we do here, the data that we discuss about here, you can't find it anywhere else, particularly any other channel on YouTube or any other channel online that dedicates so much time, so much resources in dissecting the real estate sector and the real estate market in Nigeria and real estate market in Lagos as much as I do. So you are like at the right place at the right time also. Yeah, you've missed a lot, but don't worry. You can play catch up. We have interesting playlists that we have arranged for you. Playlists about the shortlet market, playlists about the land banking, about the land documents, playlists about CFO, playlists about Epe, about Ibejuleki, and at your spare time, you can sit down, click on any of these playlists, and start watching the topics and the episodes that I've done under them one by one. All right, so let's talk. Let's have this talk. What's the future of Lagos real estate? What's likely going to trend in Lagos real estate in the next 20 years, in the next 30 years, in the next 40 years, in the next 50 years? Because the truth is, some of the people that are making a lot of billions in Lagos real estate today, their fathers and their parents have positioned way ahead for them. They are just there. They are just coming. We have people that their parents have bought Banana Island in 1970, 1980. We have people that their parents have bought Ikoyi in the 80s and the 70s. We have people that their parents have bought Ibejuleki in the 90s. There's this trending video about of Otedola, where he was talking about that in the 90s he bought some Gotedo. So he has positioned for his kids as at 30 years ago. So how can you also position for the next trend in Lagos real estate for the next 20 years, for the next 30 years? You are alive, you are not alive. Your next generation is benefiting for the fact that you are positioned ahead for them. So that's why we are discussing about this. That is lease the next trend in Lagos real estate. And before I start talking about this is another invitation for you to subscribe to our channel. This is your first video, your fifth video, your 10th video, your 15th video. I've been even be watching us from your TV for a lot. Kindly just unlock your phone, open your YouTube app, type Meet the Property Guy, click on subscribe, and continue enjoying us on your TV. So I want you to subscribe. You have subscribed already. I want you to turn on the notification button just as we are showing you on your screen. It's very, very important, because we have a lot of content that we are putting out there right now. Our YouTube shorts also, 15 to 60 seconds videos, where we show testimonials, we show opportunities, we show allocations, we show handovers, we show different things that you can tap into. It's quite at low entry barrier and low price entry right now, so you don't want to miss it. So turn on the notification button also, so I don't miss these videos. All right, so is lease the next trend in Lagos real estate? Now, some of you might not even be aware But the land use decree enacted have already converted our real estate system to a leasehold instead of a freehold. So these days, when you want to buy a property, you're asking, is it CFO? Is it governor's consent? Is it this? Is it that? All these titles are lease titles. A CFO is 99 years, and there are even some places in Lagos where the Lagos state government are not even giving 99 years. They are giving 50 years. They are giving 40 years for CFO. You get? So, and even personally, I feel within the next like maybe 20 or 30 years, the Lagos state government are going to review that 99 years term for CFO, and they will not be doing that 99 years again, because it doesn't make any sense. Why should I issue a CFO and have to wait for 99 years before I can get another revenue? They are missing out of money. That CFO is supposed to be like maybe 30 years or 40 years or max 50 years. So at least every 3 administration there is a revenue sitting for them. Yeah, you might hate me for that, but government is all about revenue. And I'm very, very sure some people are already talking about that idea to them too. All right, so our land use system is already leasehold. So just like a lot of us still like that feeling of I own it for life. The fact is, as long as there's a registered title on that property, you don't own it for life. You own it for a lease term before you go back to the government and renew again. But let's leave that. So now, we are looking at what is happening already in Lagos right now, year in, year out, month in, month out. The housing unaffordability and how this is already affecting the entire real estate ecosystem. Because at some point, the real estate market will have to adapt. That, okay, maybe before a couple of years ago, we have 2 million people that can afford these properties. And now there's a new reality that is only maybe 400 to 600,000 people that can afford these properties. The market has to adjust to that reality, because now the affordability percentage have dropped around like 30%. That's even more than 30%. 2 million to like 600,000. That's even more than 30%. So the markets have to adjust. So my prediction is that at some point, one of the strategies and one of the models where the market is going to adjust to is lease. So now we are now going to have what we call tenured ownership. And these are the reasons why I feel, based on my own prediction, that the market will eventually swing into lease. There are some places in Africa, as at today, you cannot own a property for life. Yeah, in Africa today, there are some places there are some cities you cannot own. If you want there and you want to buy a property, the only thing you can get is a lease. That's their own real estate model. So because in Nigeria we still have this ownership model, does not mean that at some point reality will not set in. And one of the reasons why reality will set in is, number one, we're already having rising prices of land. Land in Lekki Phase 1 right now, 350 million, 300 million. I saw an advert of a property in Oral Estate, 300 square meter recently, and it was 150 million. 300 to 400 square meter, Oral Estate. It was 150 million. Half plots. So they're already telling you that Oral Estate now is like maybe 250, 300 million for a full plot. Can you imagine? Oral Estate, after Orchid. So the rising prices of land is a number one wake-up call. Look at prices of land in the Eco Atlantic. Look at prices of land in Banana Island. What's the sustainability of these land prices? How long can it be sustainable? And for even the places on the mainland, you go to Ikeja GRA, you go to Alaka in Surulere, you go to Ikmori in Surulere, you go to Alagomeji around the Yaba, you go to Medina Estate around Bagada. Almost equally, land is like 250, 280, 300 million also. How long can this be sustainable? In the next 20 years, when we're looking at 2045, can this be sustainable? Will people still be paying 1 billion, 800 million on average just for land, when they are not even put a structure on it? Rising prices of land. Because this is still changing. And it's not just Lagos, because it's easy for a lot of us to say that, okay, because of the population, the commercial activities, blah, 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 Lagos. Have you tried to price properties or price land in Enugu? Try it. Price land in Enugu. Have you tried to price land in some places in Ibadan? like Yagonku, Carlton Gate, Kolakwe Shola, or something, GRA, and all those places. I would try to price land there. I saw an advert recently on Facebook. One, I think Ojaja Resort or something in Ondo State. Land is like maybe 100 million or 150 million in Akure. Between 100 to 150 million in Akure. So it's not just Lagos. There's a rising prices of land, and that's the why we're having that is urbanization. But I'm coming to that. So now we already know that the mortgage system in Nigeria is almost dead. Yeah, there are mortgages. We have the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, FMBN. We have NHF housing loan. But what's the percentage of people that are able to access this mortgage? And then the commercial mortgage, what's the percentage of people that can afford it, that can access it, and that are able to use it to buy a house and without default, without the that mortgage eventually going to a foreclosure? I think the mortgage markets right now in Nigeria should only be funding like maybe 5% to 3% of all total purchases. So which means that around like 90% of all purchases are still outright, are still self-financed. So if people are not getting that opportunity of them being able to spread payment for 20 years, spread payment for 15 years, spread payment for 10 years for a house, for a building, how can it be sustainable when prices have gone 3 times what it is today? A 2-bed in Lagos is like 180. Now, if prices go 3 times, that's probably like how much? 460 million. How many percentage of the market will be able to pay 460 million without a mortgage? Do an outright payment of 460 million. So, no mortgages. That's another reality that all of us have to take. Then, scarcity. Well, we're already having scarcity, and scarcity is also caused by urbanization, because right now there is no land. In certain places of Lagos, there is no land again, except you are going to bring down a building and then go higher by erecting a new construction or a new building. So we're already having scarcity of lands, and that's why development, urbanization, population is now moving to some outskirts. Mowe right now, Mowe, they're already renting 1 bed in Mowe for 450, 500k in Mowe. They're already selling land in Mowe now for 10 million. So people are already moving out of Mowe even into Ofada, into Ewekoro, into Pakpalanto, into Kobakbe. Because Mowe is already expensive too. Into Ogiri. Then gradually they'll get to Remo. You understand? So we're already having scarcity. So scarcity is also fueling prices, because everywhere that you will love to have a land, there is no land. So the few people that have properties there, they are jacking up prices. Scarcity. So urbanization, if you have left Nigeria in the past 10 years, when you come, you already see that a lot of things have changed. Urbanization drives prices of land, because urbanization means that there is now infrastructure. So we now have a blue-red rail line that goes from Mile 2 down to CMS. We now have a red rail line that goes from Agbado down to Oyingbo. Agbado 10 years ago does not have an active train station. Now Agbado today have an active train station. Properties there as at 10 years ago and today will not be the same again, because the landlord will be saying that for my house you'll be seeing the train station now, and from the train station you can take a straight train to Oyingbo. So no, I'm not collecting 700k rent, I want to collect 1 million naira rent. Urbanization drives prices, because now there are infrastructural upgrade, infrastructural development, and all these drive prices. Urbanization drives scarcity. So because now there is a train station in Agbado now, all the properties around that train station, people are juggling for it. They want something close to it. Everybody wants something close to it. Everybody wants, so it drives scarcity. There will not be a high demand and a limited supply. Scarcity. So because of all this now, what everybody will now eventually have to settle for is that, seems like with the way price of land is going, with the fact that there's no way we can spread this payment for 10 years or for 20 years, these lands are scarce, there's urbanization already. If you can't own these properties for life, at least let's own it for a tenure. Because everyone will now start to realize that I'm already in my 40s. But I spent another 30 years. I'm already 70. So, bros, can you give me this your property for 30 years? and then my next kid, them too, they can start their own life and also fight their own battle. You get? So an investor can look at it as, okay, I'm already 55, but I spend another maybe 25 years. Oh, this property, can you give me for 25 years? I want to own it for 25 years. And once I'm through with my 25 years, my kids too can start facing their own battle. So people will start now tilting towards tenured ownership, because tenured ownership will be cheaper. If land for full ownership is selling in an area for like maybe 350 million for life, and then now I'm saying that, oh, give me this land and let me own it for 40 years. Let me pay 120, or let me pay 100 million, or let me pay 150 million. Now I've slashed the price of that property by 50%, because there is no mortgage that I can work to that, okay, you guys should fund me this 350 million, allow me to pay it for 10 years. I still have to pay this money myself. There's a 3-bed bungalow or 3-bed house for 180 million. There's no mortgage that can allow me to spread it. So someone now is now offering me that, hey, this since if I take mortgage now, probably with my income, I can do let's say 20 million naira a year. The house is 180 million. I can do 20 million naira a year, which means that within 9 years, I can afford that property. I can pay for that property within 9 years at 20 million naira. So now someone now walk up to me that, okay, this property is 180 million, but give me 50 million and I can give you this property for, let's say, 20 years lease. So tenured ownership, you own it for 20 years or you own it for 15 years. Tenured ownership. It's going to sound interesting to me, because I'll look at it that, okay, this want me to continue, start to be waiting and waiting and waiting, and it's almost looking like I will not be able to afford this property to own it for life. Okay, let me just gather 2.5 years savings and just buy it for 20 years, and I know that it's mine for 20 years. Maybe after 10 years, I can relocate to another cheaper location and earn cash flow for the 10 years that is left on that property. Tenured ownership. So my prediction is that the more scarcity we are having in Lagos, the higher the rising prices of properties in Lagos, the faster and deeper the rate of urbanization in Lagos. Mortgage is already dead, so it's not even looking like that's going to improve anytime soon. Tenured ownership will start to look attractive for a lot of people that want to own a property in Lagos, because they realize that it seems I cannot own it for life, but I can own it on a tenure. And another advantage that tenured ownership will be giving a lot of investors to stay ahead is that break-even period will be shorter. So for a lot of properties in Lagos now, if you buy it, if you are renting that property out, it's going to take you between 15 to 18 years to break even. If you own it for life, 15 to 18 years to break even. If you are buying on short lets, it's going to take you between 7 to 9 years. That if it's excellently managed, 7 to 9 years to break even. Now, if I buy the property, this is on full-time ownership. If I buy the property on tenured ownership, break-even period for rental will come to 7 to 8 years. And for short lets, it will come to 3 to 5 years. So for a lot of people, it will sound more interesting that instead of me to go and invest 200 million and then I wait 15 to 18 years before I can get out my 200 million back, if I invest 60 million, I can make it back in 70 years. In 7 years rather. And instead of me to invest 250 million and I make it back between 7 to 9 years, I can invest 120 million and make it back within 3 to 5 years. Shorter break-even period. A lot of investors' head will sway that this is better. I don't want to hold my investment too much in Nigeria. So the entry capital is lower, the break-even period is even shorter if it's a tenured ownership. Like I said, even the government at some point will review that CFO list term. It's certain. Particularly Lagos State government, I trust them. They have too much brilliant people for them to live that 99 years, whatever still there. So this is my projection for what the trend in the Lagos real estate market will look like in the next 20, 30, 40 years. And like I said earlier, Some of the people that are making billions in Lagos real estate today are making billions because their parents were able to position way ahead 40 years ago, 50 years ago for the trend that they are enjoying now. So if you also want your kids, or even you yourself, maybe you are still young like me, like, so for example now, my prop tech, I'm already positioning for a market of like the next 15 years for my prop tech because I'm still young. So if you're also looking at, okay, if this trend is going to come in the next 20 years, 20 minus 8, plus my age, I'm still young, okay, how can I position? Then you can now start to look at this, because the rising prices of land is not coming down anytime soon, and it's going to get worse in the next 20 years. Urbanization will get way more deeper and more rapid in the next 20 years. We already have like three proposed rail line coming in Lagos: the green line, the purple line, and I've forgotten the third one. I think orange line. So urbanization will be more deeper. Scarcity is going to get worse. So tenured ownership will be the new thing, based on my own market prediction. So if you disagree with this is fine. You can drop your comments and let us know, hear your view. It's fine. You can. I don't have to be right. You don't have to agree. So you just drop your comment. I think my comments have not really been active for a while. So yeah. So I'll be very, very delighted and excited to receive some comments. Yeah. So tell us your view. If you agree, also tell us what you feel different, or what you feel aligns with my prediction too. And my WhatsApp number is always on the screen too. You can always call me and reach out to my line. If you have things that you want to ask me, you have things that you want us to discuss. Like I said, and I've been saying for a while, I have a startup I'm building. We are working on it. We are trying to raise capital. We have a pilot version of the app already. So if you like to partner with us, I'm definitely open to that. I'm seriously looking for angel investors and venture capitalists that we can partner with for equity, basically. All right, so I still remain your number one property on the planet, your property advisor, property consultant, Rabi Mustafa. Thanks for watching our videos, and see you next time.